Pre-workout. We're checking our heart rate and blood pressure before and after today.
Right, you're not going to dry scoop that, are you?
What's the deal with batch 27?
Why are we sitting down?
So we're sitting down because we're doing an experiment today.
What kind of experiment?
So we're gonna sample a product that we are not sponsored for, batch 27, which is a very popular pre-workout concoction that makes a lot of claims about exercise and performance, and we're gonna take a deep dive and see what it does to us.
Okay, I'm all for donating my body to science,
Yep.
but I'm not done with it yet.
You're not gonna be done today.
What's in this stuff and what am I ingesting?
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. So there's a lot of amino acids. Let's start at the top though, which is, I know you're concerned, is caffeine. So there are 325 milligrams of caffeine per scoop. They actually say that a serving is actually half of a scoop, so 162.5.
That's a lot. That's a lot of caffeine. Let's put it in perspective. That's more than a can of Coke. That's more than a cup of coffee.
Yeah, Prime Energy was 200. I think Red Bull is 120. So
And Prime Energy got pulled for that high dose.
here in Canada, it did. I think temporarily for a reassessment.
Okay, all right. So how are these guys able to push so much caffeine?
I think probably because they estimate that it doesn't come in a can that you're just going to drink the whole can. You kind of control how much you put in.
Oh, okay.
I think that's how they get around it.
Okay.
And I think there's not a lot of regulation on this stuff, unfortunately.
No, there's not. Okay. So if I look at this thing, batch 27, this one I'm going to be taking my body. We're going to measure, it looks like we're going to measure our blood pressure before we take it and our heart rate.
Yep.
We're going to ingest it, wait a bit, and then check the baselines again.
Yes.
Just to see what it does to our body.
The things that are in it are a lot of amino acids. So citrulline, alanine, something called betaine, which is helps metabolize homocysteine, which really relates to long-term health, not like individual workout health.
Okay.
There's something called agmatine, which is made from arginine, which is another amino acid. And then the last one I thought was interesting is huperzine, which is from a Chinese moss.
Okay.
And it's thought to increase your acetylcholine levels, which certainly could aid in muscular performance.
Okay, so anything that ends in "ine," they threw it in there.
They like it. You know, it must be good if it ends in "ine."
If it ends in "ine," it's got to be good.
Okay, so there's
Except
four
for
big
benzene.
benzene, but it's E-N-E there.
That's true.
On benzene. So there's four big claims of batch 27. What they are is, the first one is that it promotes alertness, wakefulness, and enhances cognitive performance.
Okay, which is important when you go to the gym in case a game of chess breaks out.
Right, between sets, if you're working on Sudoku puzzles, maybe this is going to help you.
Okay, love it.
But I think the thought is originally is that they want you to be up for the gym.
Right.
They want you to be jacked up, ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, number two is it helps reduce fatigue, promotes endurance, and enhance motor perforance. Well, that makes sense, right? You want to work hard during your workout, you want to recover quickly. The third one is it supports fat metabolism, so anyone that's trying to get shred, you want, during a workout, you want your glucose is what's going to drive your muscles in the short term. Usually that comes from shorter energy sources like glycogen, but if you can somehow convert more of your fat into sugar in the short term, that's useful. Probably not particularly useful in a setting where you're doing short bursts of very intense activity.
Okay. Now, if I'm the type of guy that's going to the gym every day of the week trying to get shred, trying to get
like
big.
You are.
Yeah. And I saw two skinny docs talking about it.
Yes.
Why would I care? I would turn it off right now.
I prefer the term lean.
Lean. Okay. So yeah, obviously we don't use this stuff.
Never seen it before.
What we can offer is a thorough review of the clinical evidence that supports these claims.
Right. So I went to PubMed, or the National Institute Library, of all the research studies that have ever been done, and I looked for batch 27. How many do you think I found?
I think you found 2,000 articles supporting all those claims.
Yeah, I found 0.
Okay.
Which is not surprising. So. All right. We've talked about this before. To run a very good randomized controlled trial is very expensive. Yeah. It's complicated. Even observational studies they take time and energy to do. Yeah. And a lot of supplement companies do not invest in
Okay, and as it stands now, supplement companies, the onus is not on them to support their claims as much as a product that's gone through proper regulatory channels like the FDA or Health Canada.
Right.
Products that are sold in that sense, usually like a prescription product or something like that, they need to go through some clinical trials to prove their efficacy and safety.
Yep.
The supplement world right now isn't as closely monitored or regulated, so they're allowed to make claims that they can't prove.
Right. I'd say the main issue for them is if something bad happens to people, then people are going to come down hard on them.
Okay, let's do it. Unfortunately, I don't have time for a workout after I take this stuff. I'm going to the office, so I anticipate I'm probably going to rip through my office in 1/3 the time.
So we're both going to do our blood pressure.
Yeah, and then we'll document what our pre-workout blood pressure is.
And we're going to use both a wrist cuff and an arm cuff. Some studies in the past have suggested that wrist cuffs overestimate the amount of blood pressure by about 8 millimeters, but that is older technology, so we're going to have a look.
Entertain yourselves for a minute. We'll be back. I got 116/75 with a heart rate of 66. Want me to tickle you? See if it goes up?
The cuff inflated at 200, so that's not a good sign usually.
Your hand's gonna fall off.
Oh, there you go. 127 on 86, heart rate 52. That's higher than normal. I did have 2 cups of coffee this morning.
All right, Braddy.
Okay.
Bradycardia.
Okay, let's go. This tiny little scoop. We're gonna do a half a scoop because that's what it says is a serving.
Oh, put it in the cup, yeah. Shaken, not stirred for me, please.
I suspect this has been consumed like this never in history. Oh, got a straw even.
Cheers.
Cheers, big ears.
In the name of science.
There you go.
You always chug.
You always chug.
I like to sip my pre-workout.
So I think the first thing is tastes pretty good. Not super sweet. It tastes better for me than creatine. I find the taste of creatine is not very good. Okay.
That tastes all right.
So wait a few minutes. Then
Wait a
measure the
bit.
blood pressure again.
Measure the pressure and the heart rate again.
Go from there.
15 minutes later.
How do you feel?
Not bad. I feel alert. I mean, I have a coffee in the morning too, so that is a little bit of a
Introduces some bias here.
bias for sure.
I feel like I can lift about 1,000 pounds.
Because you're caffeine naive.
I am caffeine naive. I'm
Okay.
naive in a lot of ways
Yeah.
around the gym.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, if you're going to take this, you're probably going to take it 15 minutes to half an hour before. You're either going to take it on the way to the gym or when you get to the gym while you're changing. So this would be a reasonable expectation of what you'd normally do if you're going to use this. Here we go, blood pressure. We have a video about taking your blood pressure, and what you should do is sit for 3 to 5 minutes, have your arms supported, make sure the device is in the proper position, try to relax, try to avoid taking stimulants before you take your blood pressure. Okay. So, how'd you do? Blood pressure is 142 on 88. My heart rate's 54. So my heart went up a little bit. My blood pressure did go up between 5 and 10%.
Mine didn't budge.
Okay.
I had like 118/75 with a heart rate of 60, which is I think pretty much what I had before I took the stuff.
Because you're just super chill.
I don't know about that.
So what's the conclusion about pre-workout stuff?
Okay, well for me, I mean, we've taken energy drinks before
Yep.
and I've really jacked up our blood pressure.
Yep.
Not heart rate so much, but it has, for me, with my body, if I drink an energy drink, which I don't regularly drink,
Yep.
that thing really jacked up my blood pressure. This pre-workout, I'm not sure why or what else is in there, but it didn't really have the same effect. Is this a rigorous scientific study? No.
Would we say that it's safe?
I mean, as far as I can tell, it seems safe. I mean, I wouldn't want to go out on a limb, but is it necessary before a workout?
Right. So my concern is that if people are taking, it says 325 milligrams per scoop, but then it says the serving size is half. I think it's actually a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
I think some people would routinely take 1 scoop, and that's my guess.
Why don't you just make the scoop smaller?
Right, because I think they want you to take a full scoop. That's why. But
I
they're
thought
probably
the serving says half a scoop.
but they want you to take a full one, I think, in order to get a better benefit. So I would be concerned if people are taking 325 milligrams of caffeine, as more and more studies have shown that this is a large amount of caffeine. It would increase the risk of someone having an adverse event. So that's my first thing. Second thing, all the amino acids in the short term, is this going to make a difference? Maybe. You probably could have the same success with a healthy diet or even a protein shake ahead of time. So do you need this? Maybe not. But again, if a proper study was done, it'd have to follow multiple people, multiple workouts, and then do some specific measurements with respect to performance. So whether that was the number of reps that you do, the amount of weight that you pushed, or how fast you could recover.
Yeah. So my personal opinion is, I mean, there's no good scientific evidence to support it. It didn't seem to mess up my heart rate and blood pressure too much.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm not a big fan of taking huge doses of caffeine, so I'd be really careful with that. 2, there's a cost associated with it. The stuff's not free. You have to pay for it.
Expensive.
So is it worth it? Are you getting bang for your buck? Personally, I wouldn't start taking this stuff before, but if you're using it and you're getting great results and you feel better and you feel like you can have a better workout, yeah, leave a comment, let us know.
Yep.
Your experience with it, and if something works for you, then yeah, go for it. If you can afford it and it's not putting a big dent in your wallet.
And as long as you feel okay, obviously pay attention to how you feel. If you feel like you're jittery and you're anxious, because sometimes that's going to make you feel like that, then maybe you should dial it back.
And more is not better with this stuff. You really don't want to take that much caffeine.
And the last thing, if you do have any medical conditions, particularly as you get older, we accumulate these medical conditions, definitely discuss this with your doctor about whether or not this is even safe. You want to make sure safety first. You're going to the gym for a reason, probably to be healthy. So you want to make sure you're making good choices.
And what are some of the signs if you are taking too much of this stuff? What are you going to feel?
Well, caffeine-wise, you're going to feel jittery. You're going to feel like your heart's racing. You may feel pounding in your chest. You might have a headache even from high blood pressure, depending how high it is.
Yeah, and working in a hospital, we do see young people coming in who have taken too much of this stuff, and they're having racing heart palpitations, think they're having a heart attack or something.
Hamza sometimes sees them in the merge.
Yeah, that's right. Hamza, our producer, cameraman, all things social media, has told us that he does see these kids coming in the emerge. And the symptoms of that are going to mimic things like panic attack, heart attack, all that.
What's also interesting is that I think he likes batch 27.
All right, so there you go. We leave it up to you if you're going to try this stuff and use it, but just be careful when you're taking large doses of caffeine.
There you go. If you like this, please like it, subscribe to our channel, leave a comment below, let us know what you think.
And remember, you are in charge of your own health.
We'll see you next time.